Welcome to JG's Fight Talk for a live prediction show of Canelo Alvarez, if we're going to get picky. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell, not Jamal, Jermell Charlo. For all of Canelo's gold.
For all of Canelo's super middleweight gold. He doesn't have any light heavyweight gold.
I'm sure he'll get there eventually. I'm sure he'll get there.
Bibble beat him up, remember.
It's a big fight coming up. Looking forward to this one. There's PBC. A lot riding on this, and PBC. Matchroom delivered all the British fighters. He battered all the British. Now he's moving back to the international scene. Jermell Charlo, a great opponent. Great opponent.
It's an excellent opponent, and I mean, it's undisputed versus undisputed, and in men's boxing, that's very rare. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know women's boxing have it, but there's, it's a smaller gene pool, as the fella says. So it's the odds of it occurring are far more likely in the politics in the men's boxing. We look at the super heavy or the heavyweights even to know that Jesus, this is a really. But then again, you would say, well, Canelo and Jermell have been fortunate to have been allowed to hold on to their belts, for so long when they go on little adventures in other divisions, which is a discussion for another day. But I would say, given the quality of Canelo and Charlo, that you can understand why it happens. In the words of Whitney Houston, it's not right, but it's okay. Sorry, I don't know what that. Yeah, we'll just keep going.
But like we were saying, Ender, give us the lowdown.
Let's go for the tail of the
Alvarez.
Right, Canelo Alvarez. Has had 63 fights, 59 wins, 2 draws, yes, including that one, and 2 losses. His last 3 fights were most recently against John Ryder. He won on points in Cinco de Mayo in 2023. Then last year in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, great me in attendance. I'm saying that because I'm still bloody paying for it. So I'm making that for all it's worth. He won a wide unanimous decision against his old foe, Gennady Golovkin. But last May at Cinco de Mayo, he dared to be great, and he was not literally stopped because it went to points, but he lost a wide unanimous decision.
He hit a wall
against Boxer of the Year, Dimitri Bivol, who has kind of come up against the might of the WBC's little kind of rules now, and he's stuck in no man's land. Right, his opponent, Jermell Charlo, Jermell, not Jamal, Jermell, again 35 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. He is the super welterweight undisputed champion, and that remains even after the fight because they're not for his belts. They're for Canelo's. On the 21st of July, not this year, well, obviously not this year because it hasn't happened yet, but last year, so almost a year ago, he fought Brian Castano for a draw. The draw and the rematch, in July 2021, so it was almost 2 years ago. The rematch was last May, and he stopped him in round 10. So that was a fairly conclusive way to end that one. So again, it's a bit of a long layoff. He hasn't fought since last May. His brother was looking for the fight, wanted the fight. Everyone thought he'd get the fight, but there appears to be injury concerns around him, and also the fact that Jermell is the one that's, has all the baubles, and that looks far more impressive. The people at PBC obviously know what they're doing. They've got the Charlo brothers, and that's what enticed Canelo back to them. I'd say he probably would fight the other Charlo brother next if he was victorious in this one.
And then you've got that sort of bad blood as well, haven't you? If he does beat his brother, then you've got another story there as well.
Yeah, depending on how conclusive or otherwise it is. Obviously, if it's shaky, they might want to run it again, or if it's conclusive, maybe the other brother will step up. Because is it a 3 or 4 fight deal he has with PBC now? But it's fairly lucrative. So it's really put them back. It's really put them back in the driving seat of boxing in America. You know, the great PBC top rank debates, Showtime top rank debates, I suppose. Really, if we're talking TV. So Joel, what way do you see this panning out, or who do you see coming victorious?
Do you know what? As the famous saying is, you know, the fight on paper looks great, doesn't it? But when you look at the experience of Canelo, the fight volume, the opponents, he's fought people on all different stages, levels, weights. I just think Charlo will just be another notch. But that's not me saying I don't believe a hype with Charlo. I think he's proved that. I think he's proved he's a great fighter, great boxer as well. But I just think Canelo, you know, a tough one against John Ryder in a different way. But I just think he'll get the win on this one. I think it's tough not to think it will go to points or a late stoppage, but I'd say points based on how good of a boxer Charlo is.
Yep, and I'm going to follow that up by basically agreeing with everything you're saying. We are really becoming like.
Well, to be fair, we had Adam Logan. Big shout out to Adam, the man in the know, as me and Ender described him, the man with the knowledge.
Absolutely, the man in the know.
He said, you know, Canelo points. Obviously, you know, we're gonna. I think it's just going to fall along those lines for a lot of people. You know, if he gets a stoppage. If he gets a stoppage, that's a statement for me. That's a real statement. But it's not out of the realms of possibility. But I just think it goes to points.
Yeah, I mean, Adam had said points. You had said points, and funnily enough, I'm going to go for points as well. So I think we're giving Jermell an awful lot of kudos here, even though he hasn't fought in over a year. You know, and
that's the biggest thing for me.
He's moving up 2 weight divisions as well, which is, you know, it's a bit of an ask, but I don't think Jermell will have much problems at that weight. But against Canelo, it's a big ask, and I don't know if Canelo will necessarily stop him. If he does stop him, it will be late, 10-12. But otherwise, I can see Canelo getting the points decision and getting it the way Canelo does, because he doesn't overexert himself unnecessarily. He's perfectly happy to play play with his food, as I say, for a few rounds, and then if he feels there's a knockout there, he'll go for it. If he doesn't, he'll happily just continue on until the fight reaches its natural conclusion. However, he might want to impress his new paymasters at PBC. He might look for a knockout later on. I don't think he's foolish enough to go gung-ho for a knockout. He might want a stoppage at the end. So do you know what? Because I don't want us all to have the exact same prediction, I'm going to go for Canelo stoppage 10-12. So I'm actually going to change from points, but I think points is very, very likely. But just so we don't all have the exact same prediction, I'm going to go Canelo points Canelo by stoppage rounds 10-12 in the championship rounds, as people call them.
So there we have it, people. Let us know in the comments, how do you see this one? Hit the subscribe button as well. Check out the rest of the content, but let us know. Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo. Is it points? Do you agree with us? Are we not necessarily overlooking Jermell Charlo, but does he have it in him to get the job done against Canelo?
Yeah,
let us know in the comments. It's a tough ask, but he's in a position to do it. So let us know. Ender,
the opportunity for greatness.
Thank you very much as always, and thank you for doing your homework. And we will see you soon. Until then. Have some of this.
Have it.